right there at number 14. Do you see that name?
Oh my Lord, yes.
Kyle Tucker. Yep.
Kyle Tucker. What do we think about that whole situation of Kyle Tucker?
Didn't I say this when we were talking about the free agency? I said Dodgers.
No, I went back and looked. We were all wrong.
Were we all wrong?
We were all wrong. I said Cubs. You said Phillies.
Oh,
and John said
Yankees.
He said Yankees. Yeah. Yep. I went back and looked. I'm like, ooh, I got to go see.
Did we talk about him going to the Dodgers at all?
I think it was just quick. It was like, who do you guys got? And you said one name. We all said one name. Yeah. But that, I mean, so the contract, let's talk about the contract real quick. Okay. Because we haven't got a chance to talk about this. Because it happened, when I can't remember when it happened, but the total contract of Kyle Tucker is what? What was it? $240 over 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Not very much of it is deferred. So he's making like $57 million a year. So $60 million a year, 57. You can talk about taxes and all that bullcrap. But this contract right here, I think, is the nail in the coffin for a lockout next year. I think this does it right here. I think it was already headed that way. I think this is the absolute stamp of
100%.
Now, I want to say this before I let you guys give your opinions. And I want people to know that I'm very clear on this, or make myself very clear. I do not blame the Dodgers. I do not blame Kyle Tucker. I blame MLB.
100%.
Here's why. MLB has allowed the Dodgers to do this. They've allowed them to do this. So Dodgers are just playing by the rules. These rules are set to be able to do things like this. The Dodgers are just really good at business. They have a really good farm system. They use that to trade from and all this, but they're really good at business. Okay. Kyle Tucker got I think an offer for $350 for 10 years from the Blue Jays, which in hindsight, it's like, oh my God, wow, $350, that would have been way more. You put yourself in Kyle Tucker's shoes right now. He's 28 years old. You can spend a 10-year contract, meaning you have to play all 10 years, okay? Or you have to give some of that money back if you don't. 10 years for $35 million a year, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Or let's go back here. Or somebody comes at you and says, hey, we'll give you $60 million a year for 4 years. What do you take?
Sign me up.
Well, because
60 for 4. I'm in.
He's going to get another massive contract in 4 years.
So I don't blame Tucker at all. I did the same thing. They're like, he should have been. No, he should not have loaded. What are they doing? Why is he doing that? What do you mean? Because they're giving the best value.
You're telling me that I'm going to get $240 million over 4 years. Anybody wants to question it, let them question it. Hey, if you need something, let me know. I'll sign the check because I can afford it.
They didn't defer any of his contract down the line at all or anything.
Minimal,
very little.
I'll try to find.
It's not the Ohtani-like contract.
Okay, and that's another thing. Ohtani's contract is the reason they can do these things.
Yeah,
100%.
That's the contract.
They're going all in approach. They're wanting to win titles, more titles.
Absolutely.
More titles.
Why not?
Until it is stopped with the salary cap or a floor or ceiling, whatever, it's going to continue to do it.
They're going to have to do something. I mean, I saw it where.
I don't think the MLB's powerful enough to do something.
Well, so I saw a stat, and I wished I could have screenshot this and sent it. Like their payroll or something along the line was more than like 5 teams combined, being the Cardinals, maybe the Rays, the Marlins. I don't know. There's like 5 teams. And I'm sitting there going, my goodness, that is unbelievable.
Okay, now look right here. The Dodgers finalized their deal with Kyle Tucker on Wednesday, signing the outfielder to a 4-year contract worth $240 million. Tucker gets a $64 million signing bonus, guys, for baseball, as part of the contract. $54 million of which will be paid this February 15th, and the other $10 million on February 1st of 2027. Now look at the annual salaries. Next year he'll be making $1 million on the books because of the signing bonus. The Dodgers are
Smart.
good at
That-
business.
That's an NFL trick. Hey, we're gonna give
Smart.
this much guarantee, a roster bonus or whatever, and won't count towards the salary cap.
55
Yeah,
million
it-
2027, and then they're hoping they'll take that, the player option. They're hoping they'll,
So I mean, I know there's probably the MLB is probably going to lock them out or whatever, but I don't know.
Preston, they're already there, bro.
I don't know if the MLB is powerful enough to stop this. Like, and I don't think what I'm about to say, I don't think will ever happen. There'd almost have to be like a Civil War type or uprising of teams rising up against this stuff. Like, no, we're not putting up with this anymore, blah, blah, blah. But
I think
but
it's happening next year.
It's going to have to.
you think other players and teams are going to step up and
I don't
be
think
against
They
players-
already are. The teams are already saying stuff.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what
some
I'm
of these
saying.
guys
I
are
think-
already on it.
I think it's going to have to take players. I think it's going to have to take the players to get a change within the
No.
players union.
Because at the
think-
end of the day, the players are just pawns. Man. They're on the board and they're being moved around by everybody else.
Me and Ben's talked about it all the time. I don't think the teams in the MLB are powerful enough to make a change with this players union. I think it's going to have to be the players itself, and I just don't see that happening.
Now, I see what you're saying there. It's going to have to be the players that are kind of hacked off that the Dodgers are doing this, and they don't have a chance to win. And Jeff Passan did say that there are players on other teams that that are already saying, "How do we beat the Dodgers? This is getting ridiculous." Now, like Preston just said, no, the players love this though. They're getting more and more money in this situation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that the MLBPA is way too strong. It is so strong. It's way different than the NFL. And there's going to be a lockout because, number one, the way salary caps work, if there's a salary cap, there's always a salary floor too. Some of these teams got to spend money. They got to, because if you got
and that's what it's going to come to. I think you're going to have teams like the Cardinals, who obviously they're going through a rebuild. So
great time to do it too, with the Dodgers doing this. Like, awesome.
Might as well. I mean, you're not going to win anyway, so you might as well go ahead and rebuild. But you got the Cardinals and their lack of spending. You've got the Pirates, all these teams that aren't going out and spending these big players, the big money, which I mean, to each their own, whatever. But at some point, you're going to have to force them to spend money, because those owners aren't doing this for nothing. I mean, they're getting they're making money off of everything else. But you're going to have to force them to spend money. There's got to be a certain percentage. I don't know if you do a league average or whatever, but there's got to be a floor. And there definitely has to be a ceiling. You can't go out and do all this crap that the Dodgers, my goodness, the hiccups hit me, that the Dodgers are doing right now, going out and spending, all these millions and millions of dollars on every player at every position, really. Because at this point, I mean, yes, you're creating a dynasty. Why, if you're going to allow this, why would anybody spend money at this point? Why would any owner write a big check to anybody?
Yeah.
Let the Dodgers get it.
To.
Hey, and props to the Mets. They're letting their ego and their pride sign the checks. And hey, somebody has to do it, because there has got to be a team that absolutely just dethrones the Dodgers somehow.
Yep. I mean, it's going to take players or teams. Teams are just going to have to try to play catch up, try to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, but
hey, well, I mean, look, like Preston here, can the Angels give their money to the Pirates? Angels spend money, but they waste it. I mean, hey, if you're going to give those contracts to Anthony Rendon and pay people that don't even play, you might as well give it to someone else and let them try and do something with it.
Angels just make bad decisions.
It's one of those things, man, where you've got teams out here that go and try and spend all this money, but obviously spending the money on the wrong guys. But then you got teams that aren't even trying. Yeah, you could say, okay, the Pirates were trying to go after Schwarber. They were doing this. But were they? I mean, I know you're trying, but as the Pirates, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay to play. And what I mean by saying that is you're going to have to be able to prove to this guy before he signs this big contract that you're also going after this guy, and this guy. I mean, you can't just sign one guy as the Pirates as sign of Schwarber and hope to make the playoffs and go to the World Series.
Yeah.
To get a guy to come over there, you're going to have to sign multiple guys, and before the first one signs, you're going to have to prove to him that you're doing this.
Preston said, "Can the Angels give their money to the Pirates? Angels spend money, but they waste it." True.
Yeah.
He brought up an interesting question. I want you guys to answer here. What's your guys' definition of a dynasty? I always thought of it as starting with a three-peat. Do the Dodgers have a dynasty now, or are they one more World Series title away from one?
No, I mean, I think they're already there. Yes, used to, 3 titles, whatever. But listen, they're there. They've got the team. Obviously, they have the roster, and they're only going to get better. If they have an injury, they're just going to go sign or trade for somebody. So what does that matter? Their roster is set. And I saw where they come out and said that they think their roster is set. Well, yeah, your roster was set 2 years ago. You didn't have to sign anybody this year to be good.
My definition of a dynasty is 5 years of sustained success, either playing in a championship game or winning the championship game. And not necessarily the World Series, but NL championship or the World Series. 5 years of that with multiple titles in that period, then I think it could be considered a dynasty. Like, I don't think the Braves were a dynasty because they only won one of them. The Yankees were. I mean,
Cardinals, baby.
Cardinals were close. I mean, I probably in the mid 2000s. Yeah, I mean, Dodgers are at the start of one. Now, if they
that's what I'm saying. I think
if they fall off the edge of the earth the next 2 years and miss the playoffs, no, you're not going to call them a dynasty. They're just back-to-back champions. I mean,
hey, listen, don't tease me with a good time. I mean, I would love for them to fall off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He also Mosby. I see. You almost see something else here, Preston. I think the Dodgers are a dynasty right now. I do. I think the Cardinals were just more consistent. Not necessarily a dynasty. They were just more consistent.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You guys, I want you to talk about one thing here. I want you to tell me, with the current roster of the Dodgers, do you think they could beat all-star teams from other divisions like the AL Central or the AL West or any of that? Talk about it.
So they're loaded. So what is the deepest division? It'd probably be the NL West, but the Dodgers play in the NL West. So that eliminates that. So then you got AL East, okay? Well,
yeah.
When you look at that, they don't have any dominant pitching.
Nope.
Not one team has the best pitcher in the AL's on the Tigers, but is the best hitter is Jose Ramirez. So
yeah.
You got Bobby Witt Jr., but is there enough to beat that lineup and that pitching staff? Probably not. So then you go to AL West, you got some good pitching with the Mariners. You got Julio Rodriguez, you got Cal Raleigh. Okay, the Rangers got Jacob deGrom.
Angels got Mackenzie Gore.
Angels have nothing. So Athletics have a couple young hitters. Okay, so then you go to NL East. I mean, Bryce Harper, is Schwarber still with the Phillies?
Yeah, he resigned with them.
Zach Wheeler. Okay, well then you got the Mets are putting together a bit of a team. So I think the best. And then you got the NL Central. I mean, you got some good pitching there, but Kyle Tucker's no longer in the Central anymore. You got the Brewers are the ones that win that division, and there's really no elite hitter there. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz probably has the best star power. I'd probably say the best chance of any division would probably be the NL East, because I think they have a little bit more deeper pitching and a little bit more deeper star power on the offensive side.
I think so. I mean, when you're sitting there, you look at the NL East. You could pluck any player from the Braves, from the Mets, really, and you could almost assemble a roster just off those two teams alone. And then of course dabble with the Phillies and whatnot. But
you got the Marlins young stud pitcher. You got Spencer Strider. You got Zach Wheeler. That's a 3-1 good 1-2-3 punch. And you got Juan Soto.
Well, the Mets just traded for Freddie Peralta.
Peralta. So there's your top 4 pitchers. I mean,
yeah.
But then you got Bo Bichette, you got Juan Soto, you got Bryce Harper, you got Kyle Schwarber, you got
Acuna.
You got Austin Riley. So I think that the NL East would be the best ones that I think out of all the divisions that you'd have the best chance of creating an all-star lineup to be able to compete with the Dodgers.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I do like what Preston said here. And he said, thing about baseball is there's layers. Talent is distributed in categories. I think LA is still not loaded in the bullpen in this day and age that exposes you as most games go to the pen. So it's just hard to say that with the all-star. I mean, they're loaded, obviously. They would compete. It'd be a fun 7-game series, but it's hard to you're talking about 5 different teams you can throw players in there on in any of the divisions. So it'd be tough, but I'm not going to say it's not completely impossible because they are that
good.
loaded. Yeah. So anyway, good baseball segment, boys. Good